Hello, grade 6. Welcome back. I've not been in touch for some time. Today we're going to start this new topic, although you have seen some two lessons previously only about this. Again, I'm going to repeat it. Some notes from your book. And this is the last chapter of the book and grade 6 science syllabus. So we will before we start revising other chapters, we will still continue this. So it's about making work easier, right? So what do we do to make work easier? There's a bit of introduction. Throughout history, machines have been developed in order to make work easier. For example, in agriculture, people use it as stick to dig the soil. At the beginning, early in the development of agriculture, people used it sticks to dig the soil. Later, people start using hoes or djembe and ox-drawn ox-drawn plows to dig the soil. Today, advanced machines such as tractors are used to till the land. Yes. So there has been a continuous development and progress in terms of using machines, and the things that make work easier. So we will straight away go to discussing motion and force in particular. So what's motion? When something is moving, it's said to be in motion. When something is moving, it's said to be in motion. For example, my hand is in motion, and when you are walking, you are in motion. When somebody or something is running, it's in motion. When the car is moving either forwards or backwards, it's moving. When you are taking up, lifting up, pulling or pushing your books off the table, it's moving. So when some object, certain object, whether that's you or me or something else, is moving, we say it's in motion. So that's motion. And moving objects. So the objects are in either of two states. One, they are either moving. That movement can be running, flying, crawling, jumping, moving, right? Walking, so on and so forth. You name it. Or it's stationary. Stationary means it's not moving. Whether it's standing or laying down or sitting, or it's still, it's not moving. It's stationary. We move objects by pushing, pulling, or lifting. It's either of these three. When moving object, we apply a force. When moving an object, we apply a force. For you to move an object, to take a book from the desk, or to put it on, we use a force, right? Force is the push. What's force? Force is the push or pull of a substance. That substance can be a book, a pen, anything, right? Types of force. There are different types of force, but here we'll only see two. There are different types of force which include gravitational force and magnetic force. So we will only see these two in our discussion, but there are more than this. Force of gravity. Gravitational force is the force that holds objects on Earth towards it. For example, if you throw a ball up, it will fall down towards the Earth due to the gravitational force. So if you throw something up, the Earth will attract it towards itself. It holds down. It holds down because there is force of gravity. The force of gravity is due to the Earth's mass. You know, when something has a big mass, it has the tendency to attract things that are around it. For example, the sun attracts all the planets that are around it, right? Including the Earth, Jupiter, Mars, you name them, right? And everything that's above it, including us and the trees and plants, right? Magnetic force. Magnetic force is the force exerted by the magnet on the objects around it. Yes, if you have a piece of magnet and you move it around and there are certain objects, it attracts some of them, right? Because of this magnetic force. Not all objects are attractive towards the magnet, by the way. Yeah. All the things around it are not attracted towards it. The objects attracted by the magnet are called magnetic materials. Any substance that's attracted by the magnet, it's called magnetic material. It's called what? Magnetic material. These are examples of magnetic materials: iron, steel, cobalt, nickel. These are metals, right? These are metals. So the magnet usually attracts these things. Usually attracts these things. Stopping a moving object, right? We're talking about moving a stationary object. Now we are going to talk about stopping um, a moving object. Just like the way it moves a stationary object, force can also stop a moving object. Yes. If your friend, for example, passes a ball to you, you can stop it by applying the force of your foot. You can stop it, right? Huh? You can stop it. When you throw something up and it reaches in a certain degree, because of the gravitational force, it will at some point stop before starting falling down, right? That's it. So the force makes things to move. It also stops the things that are in motion. Units of force. You know, mass has a unit, kilogram. Yeah, length has a unit, meter, kilometer, so on and so forth. Huh? Time has a unit, like hour, minute, second. So force also has a unit. It's called Newton. For example, 20 newtons, 40 newtons, 100 newtons. So we measure the force of an object by using a spring balance. Yes. Weight. The weight of an object is the amount of the force of gravity acting on it. Our weight is nothing but the gravity that the earth exerts on us. Therefore, weight is a type of force and hence measured in newtons. People confuse mass with weight. You know, if you go on a scale and it measures something, that's mass actually, because it's measured in kilograms. The person will tell you you are 50 kilogram, you are 70 kilogram, you are 35 kilogram, you are what and what. So that's mass. But weight is what? Weight is what? The amount of gravity that's holding you onto the earth, right? Onto the earth, right? So you do this assignment, primary science book, grade 6, work to do, page 85, question 1 to 6. These are 6 questions, right? Do these 6 questions, please, right? Motion is something, when something is moving, it's said to be in motion. We move objects by either pushing or pulling or lifting, right? When moving an object, we apply a force. Yes. Force is the push or a pull of a substance. What's a force? It's the push or a pull of a substance. Types of force. In this discussion, we will see gravitational force and magnetic force. Force of gravity is what? The force that's exerted on us by the earth. Magnetic force is the force that magnets exert on the things that are on some of the things that are around it. Right? It attracts. So the substance that the magnet attracts are called magnetic materials, and they include iron, steel, cobalt, nickel, and others. And just like the way the force moves things that are still or stationary, it can also stop things that are moving, right? The unit of force is what? Newton. What is such type of force? Assignment. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.